get.
Come on. 60% publishing on YouTube. Come on. There we go. We got Mini Tim and Joel. It's time.
Mini Tim.
Tiny Tim.
Here we go. NXT.
There we go.
Yeah, and the chat's open. Let's get people in. Let's get it on. So, like I was saying off the air, so do you think Finn needs to be validated by having the title? Oh my god, I'm freaking NDI.
This is what we're gonna
Yeah, gonna be blowing up all the time, and that's why I gotta pay attention.
That's all good.
Do you think like Finn needs to need the title to validate this run or no?
Tim, I'm gonna let you take it first.
I mean, him having to come back down. I guess to NXT. It's weird. It's weird to describe it as down because, in my opinion, it's the best of the three shows. I would be surprised if they don't give it to him, just because. It feels proper right now. Adam just lost it, and I don't know. I think it makes more sense. I don't know that he needs it to like validate anything that he's doing, but I think it's necessary for right now, just because I feel like we need to see Adam Cole in a different way for a little while before he gets a title again.
And there's Timmy Trav. What's up, Timmy Trav?
Oh, there he is.
What's up, buddy? How you doing?
So about the Finn question, I think Tim kind of hit it on the head. It's not that Adam Cole doesn't need it. It's more that Finn has been plundering within NXT since he got back. So it's about time for him to kind of lift himself up. This man was Universal Champion. Had some issues, and so on. Came back, wasn't very huge. They wanted to push him to the moon. Now's their chance to do it again. Granted, it's where he did it the first time, but at least it's going to be a good opportunity for him to get back on his feet, maybe come back up to Raw, SmackDown, whatever it is after that.
Yeah.
I mean, for me, like I said on Wrestling Plug, on their show, on go check it out. It's on Acre FM, and I'll go retweet their stuff after this. But the thing about it is that, like I said, Finn on that show, they don't both needed it, but Finn needs it more than Cole. And the reason being is like you said, it has to validate the IC run. Is honestly, that was a joke. You hear it?
I mean, it wasn't as tough.
Tim's like, I hear echo.
Are they kicking it off?
Yeah, I know, right?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Subvert my expectations a little.
There's your echo gone.
My echo?
That may have been on me.
Yeah, I'm good.
Hey, if they start this off, then dude, what's going to be the main event?
Yeah, I'm curious. Yeah, I assume the cage match. But curious what they have in store if they're this confident.
Oh, this was supposed to kick it off. That's what they said initially.
Oh, you're right.
Because this was like overtime, catching up from the last show.
That's still...
Yeah, I was hearing. I just remember Regal being like befuddled when he came out. Like I mentioned on our show, I was just like, probably should figure this out in advance.
Yeah. Hey, Tim, try to tweet people out. Trevor, let's get people in. Let's have some fun. This is going to be a blast. Hell, let's get DMGC here. Try to do that stuff with Warren. But
one of these days to figure out what that whole thing is with those two.
It had to stem from the Patreon stuff on Warren's Patreon. Because I would always, like, when I had Patreon, using those Patreons, and obviously money had to come in with bills. What's more important at that point? Because I just got a house in this place I'm living in. I just got it in January, so like between all that stuff and the legend, quote unquote, that people called me in the chat rooms. The thing of it is that I had to pick and choose, and right now it's still hard to get through it with everything else. But it started because of the fact that I would pop into Warren's chat 10 minutes, his after show chat 10 minutes before everybody else showed up, and just said first, put first, ... good night.
Calling it for the man itself.
Yeah. And Warren would be like, that's not fair. You're just going to say good night and then just say you were there first. You're like, you're doing a competition. Out of everybody that knows me closely, I'm highly competitive when it comes to certain things. Like, me and my buddy who play Pokemon Go, we're highly competitive with each other when we basically battle each other. Obviously, I don't have to mention the whole Fightful bet thing. Yeah, that kind of says itself. Anyways, considering I lose all the time.
I don't know, man. Sean loves to take bets these days.
When Anakin and all that stuff, he said, "Oh yeah, I'll buy the cookies and stuff," which I haven't seen Anakin in a while on here, so I'm probably gonna see what he's doing. But
I know he was in the Raw chat last night.
Yeah. I'd be like, dude, what the hell are you doing?
He's gonna be like Super Tuesday. Super Tuesday revenge. It's funny because I'm here, echoes of you listening live. I'm gonna be sitting here with like a good 30 seconds behind.
Yeah, like a 30-second delay.
What's gonna happen? That's fine. That's what we get. We live in Canada. This is the best we get.
Yep.
How far are you from Warren?
Where is Warren? I mean, that's I don't know if that's too private, but it's if he is where he is, he's probably about 7-8 hours driving from us.
That's the equivalent of me going to Maryland.
Yeah. I mean, it's easier for you guys in the States because there's so many things close together, right?
Yeah.
So it makes touring a lot easier at least.
30 minutes from Boston, actually. 10 minutes. 45-minute train ride.
Meanwhile, if I want to go back to my hometown of Ottawa, it's a 4 or 5 hour drive or 45-minute plane ride. One costs a lot more money.
My home's like a 20-hour drive if you stop.
I've done that drive.
Yeah, I've done it a few times. Fun, peaceful.
So, you see how many title belts Hannah won? Oh my god.
Yes.
Like,
I'm gonna make that with her and win some of those title belts from her.
I mean, it's also interesting because of the fact that that whole thread when Wild Boy had posted that, he's like, I'm gonna defend this. I'm like, wait a minute, maybe I should defend this. Yeah, Tim Trevor's probably about 40 minutes away from my mom. Yeah, my aunt's house. Mine lives in Frederick, Maryland, so he's probably 40 minutes away.
Oh, all right. It's not too far.
Yeah.
Take the drive.
Yo, Trevor, are you Richmond? How far are you from DC? This is getting good.
2.5. Yeah, this is going to be a really excellent match. Like if these two don't deliver, I don't know what's wrong with the universe.
Yeah, right.
Still working on that injured arm from last week. I mean,
I'm excited to see where we go on this.
I mean, if Finn wins it, who do you think he has to face after this?
That's a great question.
I mean, the next person in line would be Thatcher, you think, right?
No, Thatcher has to go through the North American circuits.
Yeah.
Said it once, I'm going to say it again. I want it to be the hat.
Oh, God.
I want Cameron Grimes to just go right up there.
Yeah, but that's what we want. What's going to happen?
Hey.
I would be surprised if they throw Gargano at him.
I feel like it'll be rushed if they go to Gargano. I think there's another takeover coming in December. I think that's when we would get Gargano.
Yeah, I mean that makes sense.
It takes him 8 hours to get to DC. Damn.
Oh my god.
It takes like literally 6 hours from Maryland to Pittsburgh, and my aunt lives out there. My other aunt's family's out that way.
Would you do that straight or would you make a lot of stops?
I'd probably make a lot of stops though. When I went down there last time with my ex-wife, because we had to go to a wedding and stuff like that, which anyways, I had fun nonetheless, but we did we woke up at like 3 o'clock in the morning and got there at 3 in the afternoon in Maryland. But the problem is that I had a second job and I only had 2 hours of sleep, and she wanted me to drive.
That's nuts.
Yeah, no. I got halfway into New York and I'm like, no, I'm not driving. And we got picture-in-picture.
Yay.
If I wasn't eating that sandwich, that burger looks good.
Yeah, we were doing this earlier. I was trying to figure out what we were all eating for dinner tonight. So I ended up with salmon and pierogies and some corn, because that's just what you do. Yeah. Tim, what are you eating? What did you eat?
What did I eat? Chicken and rice. Like string beans.
You on the diet, the rest of the diet?
You guys tweeted out Mini Joel's on the feed on the thumbnail for freaking the show.
Yes. If nothing else, we just hate. just hate on each other. Oh yeah, totally small. It's awesome.
Yeah, it's just gonna be interesting to see, because I'm hoping they do give it a fin. I know a lot of people are, but you never know. They might want to keep this whole thing going between these two for a little bit, which it wouldn't validate the title anymore. To me, it would make the NXT title look like almost the Intercontinental title with Finn.
My whole concern is that all of this, the end game to all of this cross. Right?
Yeah.
You have to assume that Cross gets better, Cross comes back, dominates whoever it is, and takes that title again. So who's going to be the martyr for Cross's second title?
Yeah, I would give it to Ciampa in between. That would be awesome. That would validate both of them.
Yeah.
You could do Gargano's full-blown heel. What if you turn Cross? I mean, what if Cross is now this badass that people want to see beat people up and take souls?
Well, here's the scenario with the whole thing with the draft looming over everybody's heads in the next few months. What I said on the Wrestling Plugs podcast was that why not draft Braun? He's been on Raw. He's been on SmackDown. He didn't really have a run on NXT, right? He was just brought up straight up, right? He was just shown once, and then they just brought him up. I think that's what they said in his documentary.
With Braun?
Yeah, Braun never went to NXT. He went straight up to the main roster.
Braun didn't do NXT TV, but he did a bunch of the coconut. So he did a bunch of little Florida shows.
Yes, but he never did the TV part.
But yeah.
So
no, other than being a rosebud.
So why? Oh my god.
Something.
So why not just have him go to NXT and let him be
I think
a monster there? Now, picture this image in your head. The Doomsday Cult. They create that. Braun, Cross standing in front of him, and Scarlett standing in front of him with that whole entrance.
That would be pretty cool.
It would be really cool. I also wouldn't put it past Vince and Co. to put that on Raw or SmackDown and do everything they can to call the Twin Towers without calling them Twin Towers.
Yeah, you're kind of tiptoeing on that right now with, next Friday.
Yep. Yeah. But regardless of who wins this match, it's going to come down to just what happens. Cross comes back, and how long does it take? Is it going to be 9 months? Is it going to be less than that? Nobody knows.
What the WWE.com thing was is that where his shoulder separated, It's separated from the clavicle in the shoulder, the joint between. But the whole shoulder itself was not completely separated. It was just that gap in between that was separated, and it connects the two. So it something like that might be like 6 months to 8 months.
Oh,
I said.
It did look pretty gnarly. Like it didn't look.
Yeah.
Because
But when they checked it out, when they did the aftermarket, they said, "Ooh, nice." They said that
we'll react to that 15 seconds.
They said that the shoulder wasn't completely separated. It was separated right between those two things. So where your collarbone and goes right there into your shoulder, and you have that right in between, it was completely separated at that spot.
Got it.
So, I mean, I said on there it could be 4 to 6 months. Don't quote me on that. And they were laughing. They're like, well, at least we're not going to quote you on that. I'm like, yeah.
I mean, listen. Here's the best part. If you really want to know how long it was going to take the Cross to come back, you could have reached out to him on Cameo until.
No. If I ever, I'm gonna say this now. If I ever get a cameo, I want Keith Lee.
What was Hannah Moore talking about when she was trying to decide to get it from Keith Lee? Was it Keith does do cameos or does
he does cameo?
He does. It's like $150 or something. Damien Priest doesn't do it yet.
He said Joel's got an Echo Patron.
Shocker. It's probably not me.
What's up, Ron? How you doing, man? What's good? That's the other thing I want to try to do. With match memories, I'm trying to get more people to come in, and I've asked friends that know about me doing this, but they don't have a bloody clue what it's about. So I have my best friend Roddy. His friend Steve, who's a good friend of mine too, I asked him, but he doesn't have a camera, so I might just do like something with him at my buddy's house and just, do the... Speaking of which, I might as well say this now. I am going to be starting soon in a couple of weeks on Anchor.fm, and I'm going to be doing a audio podcast on there, and it's just going to be wrestling, but it's also going to be a little bit of everything, maybe some football during football season. I might get some people on there and talk fantasy draft and stuff, just fun stuff other than wrestling. But because the YouTube channel is going to be wrestling heavy, I figured something light will be a lot better.
Well, welcome to the Anchor family. I can tell you it is really good.
Yeah, it's easy to work with. Really easy to work with.
Yeah, I just got to go through it, figure it out with my laptop, or I know I have it already on my phone set up and stuff, but one of the ideas I have soon is that I'm going to be doing some recordings, but obviously match memories are not going to be on there, so I might just figure out how to take the audio from the shows and a bunch of the shows and just transfer it over from YouTube over, but I don't know how to do that yet, so...
I'm envisioning you talking about like going over and recording with other people. I'm envisioning you doing the Chris Jericho method, where he's got pillowcase with the recording stuff.
No,
rooms.
Ooh,
you can just if you download
the super kick, sling blade.
No, that's not gonna do it. Silly.
Ooh. Last shot.
I mean, listen. Colin's title. It gives you the breakdown of the Undisputed Era.
Yeah, true. Ronnie, if we talk about Boston versus Miami, it's got to be depending on what sport you're talking about here. Hey, Ron, can you do me a favor? Can you start tweeting, try to get people in? I know I keep saying keep people in, and it's going to be really hard to do so, but still, it'll be fun to get people in here and be freaking idiots. We got 2 hours of this stuff, too. Double stomp.
I'll do it. The reason we might be echoing, we might be echoing. We don't normally use Skype, so we're kind of on the fly, how to sort out how to get everyone's mics working. Apologies if there's an echo or anything, but I hope it's not terribly bad to hear.
No, I can hear you guys. That's all. That's good.
That's all that matters. Oh.
I can see a scenario where Survivor Series is 2 months from now, that Finn has the title and Drew has it, and they give the title on Smackdown to someone else, right? Can you just picture them turning around and, ooh, that sound on that super kick? I could see them trying to do an Irish thing where Finn and Drew just beat the crap out of each other. The Irish freaking Prince versus the freaking King of Claymore, the Scotsman. Oh,
Scottish psychopath.
Yeah. But who would you throw in NXT on there? Is Roman? That would make it. That would. Hey, put Cesaro and you've got all Europe right there.
There you go.
I mean, but even if you put Roman in there and you have a bunch of guys who beat the living tar out of each other, Roman's a perfect fit for that.
Yeah.
He would go just as well with those two.
It'd be a look though, you'd have Drew and Roman, 2 enormous dudes, and then Finn stuck in the middle.
I would love to see that. It's kind of like
me too. It'd be great to see how he manages it.
Yeah.
It's like having Daniel Bryan versus Brock Lesnar Survivor Series a couple years ago.
Yeah, but that's one-on-one. I'm talking
well, yeah, you gotta put
together Drew Stooges shit where they just get smushed together.
Yeah.
Trap.
Ron's basketball and football. Dude, all I gotta say is I got 6 championships here sitting in Foxborough right now. I'm good. In literally 12 in 20 years. How many cities can you say that have won 12 championships in 20 years?
It's a dynasty. Well, we have the Canadian Football League.
Okay, so I have Hockey East, and if you want to throw in hockey titles for college, I have 3 of the biggest programs in all of hockey right now for college in my backyard. I have BCBU, and I also have UMass Lowell. And UMass Lowell's literally in my backyard.
Tim, I'm sorry I opened that can of worms.
Yeah. I mean, we have a special tournament every year called the Bean Pot in Boston. I mean, come on now. How many places can you say is the Bean Pot?
Yeah, that's true.
And football-wise, Miami might beat us, but Miami hasn't won a freaking conference. Has won one divisional title after the Patriots have won how many hockey titles?
I mean, at least the 3 of us can agree on one thing: the Leafs are awful.
Yeah.
Just a lot of money spent on nothing.
Yep.
You want to hear something interesting? Before the pandemic, I bought tickets. I bought 5 tickets for a Bruins game. Everything worked out the way it was supposed to. My best friend Jess, my girlfriend, my 2 friends Mark and Michelle, Roddy is what we call Mark because his last name. Ooh, figure 4's on. What happened was that my goddaughter got sick, and this is before the pandemic. This is early February, and we took my girlfriend's 2 boys, and they absolutely had a blast and stuff. Joel, you'll see the pictures online and stuff. It was awesome as hell. And that literally was 3 weeks before they're dun dun dun. It's a national pandemic.
Man, I was pandemic stuff was nuts. When I was away and right when they shut down the country, we were just coming from the States back into Canada, and people were just like, "Are you sick?" No, I was lying. And then they fall out with like, do you have any systems? And then go quarantine for 14 days. They did not care as much as they do now. It's kind of nuts.
It's wild. I was supposed to go to Cuba. That didn't happen.
Oh.
Yeah, a little bit disappointing.
I bet.
So now I just have travel credits to be used when.
Did you also book with an airline that keeps not flying?
Air Transat. So yeah.
See, we have a local regional. Well, I guess they're not so regional, but there's an airline out here called Porter, and every single time we get to the end of a month, they start extending the time it will take for them to come back. So I have like $300 waiting to fly Porter. It's ridiculous.
Kick out of 2.
Oof. Finn's looking rough.
He's got that bum knee.
Oh my God. You guys might be delayed, but I ain't going to say what just happened.
Yeah.
Please don't. He's going up top for us right now.
Yeah, he's getting up there. It's a little bit stumbly.
Another figure 4.
It would be fun to watch.
Oh, that was gnarly.
Big old stomp. Be fun to watch Balor and Roman and Drew if they do like a spear claymore simultaneously, just like with Finn and 2. Big Finn fan, but that'd be fun. And if anyone can take that and make it look good, I think he could.
Flip inside out and round the corner.
Yeah.
Speaking of that, do you think that we're going to end up getting a Goldberg-Roman match next year? Obviously, Goldberg is contracted to them, to WWE.
Yeah, he's got 2.
And he's got 2 matches a year. Do you think we'd get that, not at Mania, but at Rumble? Saying that you dodged me when I had the title, you have the title now, I want my match.
I really think it means it will only matter what is going on in the world at that point. In other words, if there are no fans still, I don't expect Goldberg to come running back.
Yeah.
I don't think they're going to go to Saudi Arabia at any point.
No.
I think they'll be in Saudi by next year.
You think they're going to go back? I thought they
100%.
everything last time. They were feud, weren't they?
No. They definitely made amends, and Vince is not going to walk away from that money, and Prince still loves wrestling. There's no way. He was asked in the last conference call, Vince was asked in the earnings call, hey, would you go back this year? And he was like, I would like to go back.
Okay.
But as we get to the end of this year, it's not happening. So probably next year. And if we see Fury versus Drew at that point, there it is.
Did you see their tweet today? Like the Drew Fury back and forth?
I only saw one where he called him a big stupid or something.
Oh, it was very funny. There were like 5 points. Tyson was like walking around Edinburgh, and he's like, I've been walking all over Edinburgh. Where are you at? And he's like, well, 1, I'm from Ayr. Yeah, and he was just going on like, he's like, I can't go back because pandemic. 2, you're a big idiot. Like all this other stuff. It's pretty good.
So, are you guys excited for, since we're watching NXT UK coming back?
Hell yes.
Yeah.
The set looks
I need
awesome,
mornings
though.
to do at 2 o'clock on a Friday.
That set looks awesome, though.
Yeah, that BT Sports
Yeah.
arena looks phenomenal. I'm
I
excited.
have not seen. I'm going to look at that now. I'm just excited to see Walter.
Oh, yeah. I'm for Walter to come back.
He hit the 1916 from the top rope. And there we
goes to the
go.
top rope.
I bet Hannah's going crazy right now. She loves Finn. I'm about to check Twitter, just make sure. Because she posted a video about it last week about she got excited about Finn. I can't blame her, though. Finn's really good, though.
Absolutely. Oh, man. We're just getting it now, by the way.
Yeah.
That's 2. That's 3. So, yes. We're a bit behind.
Huzzah! Into it.
There you go. And you know what? Again, this is Finn. This is the Finn we were supposed to get when he originally came back and there wasn't a pandemic and he was going to go across the pond to the UK, give him the NXT Championship, get him silently across the pond, and get him and Walter into this quick feud that maybe culminates at a big NXT UK event. Do something. Do something to have that feud go somewhere. Put them in the Imperium on a plane. And just let them go. Let them go back home for a little bit.
Yeah, I agree. I think that'd be really good.
We have a confirmation. Hannah Burglar. Your Hannah, Queen Hannah. My king.
I'm sure she's loving this.
Why can't she? I mean, I appreciated it. And that just...
Oh, of course.
He is... I think he's the only... No, he's not, right? The only person to hold the NXT title twice, hold the IC title. What about the US? He didn't hold the US title, right, Finn?
I don't think so.
Okay. And then you have the universe.
Oh, is he about to transform into the demon? No, okay, that would be ridiculous.
That would be pretty good.
Oh, right. You guys are already ahead of us, so I just sound really stupid saying that.
You know, it's the first, when Rhea dyed her hair, how everybody blew up about it. I was like, oh, wait a minute, it's Android 18 from freaking Dragon Ball.
Yes! Oh my god, yeah, exactly.
I was like waiting for Krillin to just roll behind her. Hey, you guys. I think Ron's like his Balor face or heel. I think he's going to be a heel. You just had two heels face for each other. But it shouldn't matter anymore, right?
I mean, is Cole really a heel at this point?
I think he's a tweener. That's what I think.
Yeah, I think they're getting ready to make him face for a little bit. Let him be pretty.
Well, I mean, he is locked in for a 3-year contract, supposedly, or extension or something like that. But I guess, as speculation, we could play Chutes and Ladders with this shit. Isn't Britt Baker supposed to have her contract expire with AEW eventually soon?
I don't know if it's soon. I think there's still quite a bit of time left on it, if I'm not mistaken.
I did see Rhea with long blonde hair, but she didn't have that piercing in the middle of her mouth either.
I saw like that really old shot of her with Mercedes today on Twitter.
You're welcome.
Yeah, that was fun.
Yeah, that was nuts. I'm looking forward to that tonight. I hope it is main event.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, going back to Baker and Cole, to be honest, I don't think it's going to matter if one is in one and one is in the other. I mean, if anything, you're trying to dominate your field.
Get 0% financing on the 2020 IS 300. Experience amazing.
Check out Throws Products Podcast. Talking to him now. Thanks, Ron. Hey, Sean, can you help with the echo? I'm out of the office. What's going on? Throwback Tim and Joel are getting echoes on YouTube. Thank you, Ron. He's trying to get Sean to come in, and Sean's out of his office.
Oh, I can guarantee you it's coming from our things, our audio boxes.
I mean, there's nothing really much I can do about it right now. So, I mean,
yeah, it's all right.
It'll be annoying a little bit. I had one of the people who are watching is a friend I went to high school with, and that person said that the audio is fine. So,
works for me.
Yeah. Hey, dude, you've got a bet with Sean. I ain't gonna screw with that. If you're willing to help with the show, dude, I'm perfectly fine, Ron. Hell, I'll even say this, and I'll say this now in front of Tim and Joel. If you have a mic and a camera, dude, you're more welcome to come on this show anytime. Like I said, this is the show for everybody to be on. It's not just, well, I need certain people to come on. No. I'm literally trying to get my friend Steve to come on. He just doesn't have a camera. You know, if I had it my way, I'd have, my friends to come on. But some of them don't like wrestling. If it was hockey we were talking about, that'd be a different story. My two closest friends are huge Bruins fans, so, and my girlfriend, but I know she won't be on here, so.
Well, you know what? That's why you get us. Well, then because we're really, really entertaining or something.
Whoa.
I mean, we got commercials in between. You got to fill time.
Oh, yeah.
But,
Finn Balor's real name is Fergal.
Yeah.
Yeah, dude.
I did not know that until just now. That's very
This is
funny.
why I love the show that we do.
Fergal.
Ron, I really appreciate it. But yeah, the invitation's out there. If you ever want to be on the show, just let me know. Hell, I want Tim Trevor to get on here. I want Wild Boy to be on here. I want the Fightful United States champion Wild Boy to get on here. That was awesome.
I just started catching up with him this week. He's a riot, man.
I send him messages here and there because of everything. Because obviously what I've gone through in the last year, and I can relate to what he's going through more than a lot of people, you know. Like last year, I lost, my family lost my uncle, and in January, then my mom in May. So I can relate to a lot of that stuff. Like my ex's cousin passed away at the same time last year. So, I mean, I can relate to all that.
Yeah. It's good. I mean, that's a support network that's like the best. That's the best way
Oh,
to
look at
keep up with
this.
each other.
Yeah.
Finn and Adam in
I mean,
the background.
I'm a fan of this year as much as you are.
Look at the respect on
Oh,
that.
you're ahead of us.
Someone's going to attack him. Someone's going to get him. They wouldn't be doing this camera angle without that. Aw. Can we run him over with a tank again, please?
What I'm waiting for.
Well, they've done it 3 times now, right? That's, that's like the comedy threes. Can't do more.
Never let it stop.
No, run them over with something different next time.
Oh,
You're gonna
boy,
do
here we go.
something different.
There goes Aaliyah. And EO.
I swear we're going to react in like 30 seconds.
Yeah, I just got to Robert Stone.
Yeah, there's the tank for us.
Now we're going to have a mini fill-in match between EO and Aaliyah.
Fine with me.
Someone's going to come in between and run in. So, after this, we'll talk about a little bit of Smackdown.
Oh, yeah, that was a thing that happened on Friday, wasn't it?
I heard that Raw wasn't that great.
Who's that in the background? Was that Timothy Thatcher wearing a mask? Or was that just some guy?
I missed it. Let's see.
There was some guy just behind the women wearing a mask. So I think it was a production guy.
That's gonna hurt. But yeah, I've been adamant to get Wild Boy on here.
Do it. I would love to hear him.
I would love it. I would want my main one of the goals is that I wanted to get some of the Fightful mods on here. You know, just be awesome to do something like that. Oh, here we go.
I just saw the backbreaker Robert Stone gut punch sequence. That was pretty great.
We might have Shotzi and EO.
Here it comes. Oh yeah. Oh yeah. Oh, that's great.
So, I'm going to say this straight up, being a homer from Boston. I really wish that turn happened right before Boston. I really wanted that in Boston.
I I mean, it was the biggest news of that show, easily. And it needed to happen. Like, we've been sitting on it for so long.
We're going to get a house fight.
Right now. What are we doing now?
You're like a few minutes late. They're cutting to Candice and Tegan's going to be at the door. We're going to get a house fight.
Oh man, as long as she brings, what was it? Wine and pizza.
Can we get a house fight? Seriously? And then all of a sudden someone busts in.
It's Bronson Reed.
As the Kool-Aid.
Oh, yeah. I'm waiting for Tegan to get her ass kicked. This just looks too... Yeah. If they're going to take Tegan and make her... Isn't that her knee brace? Or is that... What's in the center?
We're still in the hallway. Let's find out.
I'm already on to commercials.
Oh my God.
This commercial.
Oh, it's a cop.
I really wish they did it in Boston or before Boston for SummerSlam, because if they did that match in Boston, even though Sasha would lose or Sasha would win in Boston, the pop that she would get after the way she got beaten down. Let's say they did that, they did the turn on Mania of them losing the titles, and then Sasha just comes out and stuff. Dude, in Boston, that would have been insane. If you guys get time, look up Chaotic Wrestling and look up a name called Mercedes KV. That is Sasha. That's her real name.
Oh, yeah.
And she wrestles.
Oh, yeah, she just changed her name.
Yeah, Bernardo.
Yeah, and she literally wrestled down the street from my house. Like, the picture montage they did of her with the whole thing with the Brooklyn and everything, the picture of them in front of the stadium, that's the stadium here in Lowell. She's she's from Cambridge, that area, but Chaotic Wrestling is mainly out of Lowell. So it's like literally in my backyard. I wish there wasn't COVID around. I would have loved to gone to another Chaotic match. They don't do strobe lights or anything, but it would have been awesome.
Yeah.
Yeah, we're missing our home turf too. We had a couple of Toronto-based promotions that we would go to. We would get Super Kicks. I think that was more Tim's than mine for a while. And then we started going to Greektown Wrestling, featuring the one and only fan favorite heel RJ City. Have you heard of RJ City?
Sean saying still. So, but I just can't wait for this match. Now, it's probably going to end up having her go off till Survivor Series, maybe. I wouldn't be surprised. I mean,
it's a match that for me I think is going to have them sell. I do think they're going to rush it and do it with the biggest stakes necessary. Put the women in the cell, be the big, that big main event, and it still won't blow off the match.
It could be in the cell, or they could one-up it and make a whole different match style where, Bayley has everything to lose and Sasha has everything to gain. But I honestly think if they give the SmackDown title to Sasha, they're not going to have her get the title, go for a month to the next pay-per-view, and let her lose. That would not justify the win. Because...
No, if she wins it again, she'll actually defend it, I think, a few times.
I think she'll win a few times, and everybody say, well, you win a singles title, you can't defend it. I mean, if they're saying throughout her career that every title she's had, she can't defend it, then you're putting the tag titles there. You're putting the tag titles in that equation. Yeah, she had Bayley, but it's saying you can't defend the tag titles with the, you would lose it the next night. Well, that wasn't the case.
Yeah.
Here we go. Thatcher's Metcalf. Damian Priest. The funny part is Priest is probably watching this too.
Yeah, possible.
Well, hey, everybody's allowed welcome up here. I don't mind having people come up and visit. Hell, my aunt's trying to figure out if she's coming to visit me and my sister in about 6 weeks if everything's good.
I don't even know when the next time we'll be able to cross the border is going to be at this point.
I mean, Warren crossed the border.
Oh yeah, it's one thing to go and visit people, but like for me to work, that's probably not going to happen anytime soon. Like, so I play in a band. We have an agent who's based in Philly, and he's like, "Hey, I have these dates for 2021," and we're like, "Do you really think that your country's going to be open by 2021 for us to come in and work?" But that's just the way it is.
Well, Metallica's already. Some of these major bands are already putting out stuff on Ticketmaster around here saying we're coming in 2021, late 2021, or whatnot.
Yeah, everything that's been rescheduled.
Ron's like, Tim Hortons or Starbucks. I'd rather go for a Dunks any day or a Dunkies any day. I gotta get that video in production. I gotta get everybody's like, what is that supposed to mean? What does this mean? I mean, pissa. People ask me how to say park the car in Harvard Yard, and they're like, you're not saying it right.
They want you to pack the car. Why is Velveteen Dream on my screen?
Where did this come from?
Going back to the Tim's versus Starbucks thing, because now this match is completely inconsequential to me. I'm the wrong person to ask because I don't drink coffee.
Monster.
I am an absolute monster.
I
don't know. Starbucks if I have to choose between the two.
I don't drink Starbucks that often. My sister's addicted to it. But for me, it's either this place called Heavenly Donuts, where it's a lot of their stuff they make fresh, like right there on the spot. A lot of their donuts are made like at 5 o'clock in the morning, but they last a long time. Or if I'm on, like the saying goes, if I'm on America runs on Dunkin's, if I'm running, and you got to remember, Dunks was made around this area, so it's like one of those things where it's like, you know. It's like Taco Bell in California. There's one on every corner. Like, there's like 1, 2, like in this vicinity, there's like 4 of them literally around me and around my house. And just in the city, there's 12 in like literally a half a block.
I think the only time I've ever had Dunkin' Donuts is one in the Montreal office of my employer. So I went down there. It's decent. It's pretty close to the Tim Hortons stuff, I find. So try it out. Break apart the Starbucks stuff.
This kid's on fire. Come on.
It's a Hootie Miles.
DDT, no. Adonis. Holy crap.
A little too, he's too old.
I would be surprised if this dude's like from Evolve. I think this might be one of the guys they signed from Evolve. Super kick.
Yeah, isn't that to do with Miles?
Dream with the thumb. And...
Oh, Adonis.
It's, for me, even though it's the squash, I think this match kind of made this guy a little bit stronger. It's not. I don't think this kid is a throwaway talent. Obviously, he
looks good so far. I assume it ends soon. Then?
Yeah, it's already ended.
Yeah. A little eye poke. Okay. Yeah, no. I just want to see more of him now.
I mean, in the States, there's no Tim Hortons, so. But since I have the variety of having Dunks on every corner, I get Dunks all the time.
Oh, yeah. Oh, finally.
There we go. Get him, Kushida. We're gonna have Kushida and Dream.
Good. And hopefully Kushida beats the shit out of him.
Yeah, we'll see.
Can you blame him?
Mm. Who are you, Shante Adonis?
You're gonna start looking it up.
Yeah.
I'm still looking for him.
I mean, successful appearance then. I'm intrigued.
K-Cups. Yeah. I've actually started doing that more often now. I've actually been making coffee more often here at home and bringing it. I've done it the last couple of days.
Yeah, I've been making my I make my partner coffee in the mornings because she knows that I'm not going to drink any of it.
The only thing I would buy is green tea from the supermarket, and just like, you know, the Lipton's green iced tea or something like that. If I'm not feeling too hot, that's what I primarily get. What's OBS? Streamlabs.
Open broadcast software.
Woo!
Sean's probably asking about OBS. And the thing is that I really appreciate like him and Warren and stuff like that. They've helped me out greatly, and I really appreciate it.
Yeah, on our side of things, I'm super lucky to have Tim because he does a lot of our production value, and it shows. It's awesome. I'll put him over highly for that stuff.
Do all the things. That's good. I may not know wrestling, but
Oh, that's fine. I do the content, you do all the rest. It's wonderful.
yeah, exactly.
That's a good partnership, folks. Find someone who's better than you at something, and you should be better than them at something else. And together, we learn.
Brazango. Love it. Love all of
it. For me, it's just because the tea conversation's still going. If it comes down to it, it's like me choosing a beer. If I had my go-to is Guinness. Being around here, you know. But if I'm with my friends or anything, and this sounds snobbish, it's sangria. You think?
Oh, I love sangria.
And everybody looks at me like, you're Irish, you should be drinking beer. Dude, I'm freaking Irish and Scottish. You really think I'm going to be drinking beer all the time? I have a tapper. Yeah, I have a I was doing the show last week, and I had a beer sitting on my table. It's just, you know, I have one of those, you know, keg tappers, the little one you put on your counter and stuff. Yep. So, but I don't use it as much because, you know, my late 20s, I went really crazy, and now it's like, I'm looking at 40 next year, so I'm just like, whatever.
Yeah, nowadays, like, I drank so much bloody beer for a while that, like, now I'm doing this weight cut thing, and it's like all vodka soda. Like, that's all I'm drinking.
Can't do that.
No, you can't do it. It's great. A little bit of lime, a little bit.
Put the lime in the coconut.
I guess if you're doing it with soda, it's not so bad. If you're doing it with like water, people who are like vodka water, that always feels nuts.
No, I can do vodka water, but like obviously you need a little bit of the bubbly.
I love my girlfriend. She's awesome, and she does only like blue drinks.
Only blue.
Blue drinks, so like blue Hawaiians, you know, and I've had some of those stuff, and she makes them really good. But if I'm not going anywhere, I'll have a couple. Like my buddy, like I said, Roddy, he lives up in Derry, New Hampshire, and that's 15 minutes away from here. If I have a beer and I'm not going anywhere, like if they do a New Year's party or New Year's Eve, I'm not going anywhere.
Two things. One, ask your girlfriend if she's ever had Pepsi Blue.
Oh.
It was wonderful. And two, Caleb Conley is an Impact?
Gotta look him up.
I guess.
I'm watching a clip on Impact stream, and Caleb Conley just showed up, and he was with the NWA for the longest time.
Speaking of that, do you think Authors of Pain would be a good fit? I think they would be a good fit in Impact rather than New Japan and everywhere else.
I want to see them go to New Japan out of all the options right now. I don't necessarily need to see them in AEW. The FTR versus Authors of Pain match, it would be their first ever one-on-one tag match, which to me is pretty interesting. But other than that, put them to Impact, they could be monsters, kind of Viking Raiders, War Machine style. It'd be nice.
I think they're 6 months away, though. Don't they have like a lengthy non-compete?
No, I don't think so. I think it was just a straight-out release.
Yeah, so you got those 3 months.
Oh, okay.
So, but I think they would be a perfect fit in Impact, or I'll even throw a dark horse in there, Major League Wrestling.
Yeah, with MLW coming back, that's one thing, but with some of their higher known talent trying to get out, I'm starting to wonder if that's going to negatively affect some of their bargaining power.
Well, we'll see. Only time will tell.
Absolutely. Yeah, no, I mean, listen, there are so many places where they could absolutely excel. It's just up to them to make the best deal for them and, make the most money they can.
Are you watching the YouTube channel? You're probably like, he's wearing red, white, and blue.
I'm just freezing a bunch. Oh, there we go.
Red, white, and blue. Yeah, I have the Miracle on Ice jersey, Eruzione. I got it for $30. Yeah, no.
I just googled Major League Wrestling, and their tagline is "The world of MLW never stops." But it did stop.
No, they were still airing some content, but you know what? MLW, to give you a quick history lesson, Court Bauer is the owner, and Court used to be a writer with WWE back in 05, somewhere around that time. And then he left. He formed MLW. It became like the next incarnation of ECW. Lasted a few years. He brought in, Terry Funk. He brought in Dusty Rhodes. He brought in basically all the ECW guys. Then it folded, and then he started doing podcasting. When podcasting was getting big, and that's when you got guys like Bruce Pritchard starting his podcast. That started on MLW's radio network. And so they've since left, but MLW came back, had one show, and then they started having more and more shows, and now they're back on TV full time, minus pandemic stuff.
Yeah. Oh, damn. I'm looking at their roster now, and it just looks like a bunch of real mean son bitches. Like,
we look at guys like they have Tom Lawler, they have Jacob Fatu, who's a certified badass. Who else is there? Alex Hammerstone really came into his own recently. They had the Lucha Brothers for a long time. Who wasn't there? Oh, the Garganos are back.
Yeah.
oh, little doggo.
But the fun stuff you find on Amazon all the time. Ron's like, oh, what a bargain. I got my buddy Roddy for Christmas last year a replica jersey of the Mighty Ducks movie once.
Which one? The old greenback jersey?
Nice.
Oh, you lucky bastard.
Yeah, that's pretty sweet.
Yeah, it was like $60 on Amazon. And it's got the Charlie Conway on the back with the C on it.
Awesome.
Yeah. So I'm like trying to find like a lot more deals, especially because with work, my hours are starting to drop a little bit because of, we're slow. So we're a labor-based business. So if we're not getting people coming in, we have to cut our hours. So for us employees, so like there's some people right now working 21 hours that are full-time employees, but there's nothing we can do because we don't have people coming in to get their cars worked on. So, I mean, it is what it is,
Yeah.
The dream match I have would be Young Bucks in WWE against the Usos.
Oh, that'd be a good one.
That would be good.
That'll super good party.
Yeah. Ooh, big boys here. I was talking. So this is one of the things I brought up over at the Wrestling Plug podcast I was on, is that they must have a lot of faith in Bronson Reed to change his whole pyro in the PC and changing his intro completely. So I think, and this is just me spitting ball right here, I think he's next for the title for the North American after Thatcher. I think Priest wins, and then Reed basically takes the title off Priest.
Yeah, that would be sounds like he's really over. So.
And Priest has a beef with Finn now because he lost to Finn. Says, you lost me, I lost you straight. You're the NXT title. Grow some balls and fight me again. There you go.
Well, Bronson Reed, I mean, the big thing with him was changing him to the Colossal and making him like a legitimate badass big man versus just calling him Thick Boy with 2 C's. Thick Boy was 2 QC. To call him Colossal now, it's like he's got balls.
Yeah.
Colossal balls.
And
I like Thick Boy.
I've always called him, and you guys have heard me call it a big boy. Very big boy.
Basically. He's a big boy.
And, I mean, the one thing that rings in my ears from TakeOver 30 was Beth saying the Beast of the East would be really, happy about this.
Yeah, I wish you could have trained him.
So, I mean, it could have been interesting.
Yeah, I mean, his attire at TakeOver 30 was Bam Bam inspired, and it was so freaking good. I loved watching that.
Austin Theory, the wannabe Captain America.
Yeah, so he was with like the Garza Andrade stable for a bit. Is that who he was?
Yeah.
Yep.
Okay. I thought he was going to go with.
He was supposed to go with Seth, yeah.
Yeah, but that just didn't happen. They just walked away from it, eh?
Pretty much. Just like they walk away with everything.
Yeah, it's weird.
Well, with Austin Theory getting his little time off in timeouts, I think they kind of wanted to teach him a lesson with this stuff.
Oh, yeah.
He's still 23. Like, he's still a kid.
Yeah.
May as well rehab him this way instead of, waiting for the worst.
Yeah.
If Theory wins this, though, I will have problems.
Yeah, I don't think that's going to happen.
Oh, the review show for Fightful should be interesting tonight.
Yeah, who's running that tonight?
I think the Warren and Louie and Alex. I'm not 100% sure. Warren took a snapshot and says, "Kill him, Kushida," and then Alex puts right underneath him, "Fuck him up, Kushida."
Yep. Yeah, I guess we'll have to see who's running that show tonight.
I'm gonna have to. I'll message.
It's Steven Jensen and Alex.
Yeah. Dropped frame detected 25%. Less than 2 minutes feedback. All right, so it looks like it's the primary server that's acting up, so we're fine. It says drop frame rate 23. Last 2 minutes. Some frames. Yeah. Okay.
It's okay. They're watching NXT. They limited my audio.
Well, what it's
maybe they're checking you and Tim out.
Well, it's saying that because it popped up. You know how OBS does a pop up saying, "Hey, frames per minute." Drop frame. Yeah.
Yeah.
So it just said 2 minute delay, which it doesn't matter.
Stack and delay.
So that move that Dominic did was awesome. The sliding powerbomb contraption he did.
Oh yeah.
I was surprised that, you know, that wouldn't be a finisher for him if he could do it.
Yeah.
But
now he's got the mixed father finisher. The 619 frog splash finish.
You always got to support where you came from, and your daddy taught you best. And he's smiling down.
Both of them.
Exactly.
yeah, Maury Povich comes out and says, I should have been on that show that day.
Could you imagine if they had been doing the Raw guest host at that point?
Oh my god.
They would have turned it into a paternity test angle with Maury. They would have brought him on easily.
And they get to chuck full size.
Dominic Mysterio. You want to know who your daddy is?
Eddie, you are not the father.
Oh my god!
But Angie, you are not his mother.
What?
What? And then you bring out Eve Torres, and it's just really convenient.
Yeah. Hey Tim, Trevor, make sure see everything's going good. I still get the drop frame detection going on over the last a few minutes ago. Everything should be fine, so.
Big boy did flat his chest. Damn.
Yeah, Rod's a big man. He is insane as a big man.
Great this match. Just great.
Yeah.
It says lower the bit, right? Well, I'm not doing that right now.
That's an awkward photo.
It's I love how Streamlabs tells you, hey, you gotta, you know, change your bit rate, you lower your band rate. It ain't gonna work because we're streaming for another hour. I ain't gonna get in this stream and be like, oh, what? Well, we're back. Nah, but I'm actually digging the show so far. I mean, the only thing I wish was that they would literally kept the title match, you know, till later and have that go the way it did.
I didn't hate it. I think there's a bigger story that might unfold throughout the night with those two. Maybe they'll do a whodunit, have Adam Cole laid out in the back at the end of the night and be like, who could have done this to Adam Cole? Or who could have done this to Finn Balor?
Yeah, I expected to get more from like the Finn backstage conversation, like whether or not, like who he's going to be with the title, but we'll see. Might come later.
They're gonna have Reed win over Theory. They better have it or we riot.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, I mean, Dream just won the last match. They can't really do two in a row, can they?
They could.
Please don't let them do two in a row.
Run.
Bouncing between NXT, the Heat, and the Marlins game.
Me, I did that with the Red Sox game for the first time when they actually had it, but I couldn't keep up.
I watched with a bunch of friends. I'm a watch wrestling alone usually type of guy. I take notes and do my thing because that's the nerd that I am. And back in November when it was full gear before lockdown, obviously, I went over to a buddy's place and a bunch of us were watching the pay-per-view. They had 3 screens going. They had one for full gear, one for, I think it was Evolve, because it was the 10th anniversary of that night, I think, something like that. And then the other one was they were doing UFC and then switching to ROH, and honestly, I couldn't do it. I can't flip between shows like that. I need to put my attention towards one and then just keep on one.
I mean,
Yeah, I think
the one thing I miss working at a pizza shop, it would be walking in and there's multiple TVs. But like on Sundays, because my boss is, at the time was a huge wrestling fan, he'd have Ring of Honor, and it was hard to get Ring of Honor in Boston because it's only shown on a local channel called Nessun periodically, but they don't carry ROH all the time. It's like one Sunday you won't see it for another 3 months, and then another Sunday, and then another 3 months. It's just
Well, that's not Nessun. That's just Ring of Honor's taping schedule.
no, like they used to have like Ring of Honor every week on, but now it's like that. Just that was like 2 years ago, but I don't work there anymore, so. But they probably are watching the show, and I appreciate them watching it if they do. I just, it's just one of those things. And we're still echoing.
Oh, man. Theory taking a front bump for that elbow.
it was a pretty weird sell.
I mean,
oh man,
if you're gonna build up Reed and you're gonna give Theory the win, I mean, it doesn't make any sense.
Yeah, I really can't see them doing it.
Only reason I can see them do it is if they want to have the match go back again.
Yeah, I mean, he beat Priest, like, it'd be weird.
Oh, the back suplex spot. Even my back was wrenched.
I was like,
I'll have to listen to the playback on the way back on this and see about the echo stuff. Well, right now, there's nothing I can really do about it. I'd have to shut the stream off, and we'd have to redo this all over again. Nah.
That's great. Start from
Yeah,
zero.
no.
Restart NXT.
Theory. Oh, he got him up. And there goes Reed. I can't believe this. They had Reed work under him. Yeah, Reed got most of the brunt of the punishment, and yeah, he worked beneath him. You really kidding me? Am I not only one seeing this?
Well, we're about to.
yeah, it's about to happen.
Oh,
Oh!
jumping sense on.
But I mean, like, he literally took a beating for most of this, and then, he lands right on Theory, senton, and then his finish.
Couple of squishes.
It was weird, yeah. I mean, it was like Theory was getting the hope spot for some reason. Interesting. Maybe Austin Theory is actually a good guy, guys.
No, because they're building Reed as the face.
Big boy for life.
Here we go. Cole's interview.
Mm-hmm.
I don't even have the volume on right now.
Well, obviously, I'm disappointed. That's not the outcome that I wanted. But truth be told, the better man wanted.
Well, after the match, we saw a sign of respect.
Watch Bad Boys fly through the air, so we're almost there.
Well, I do have respect for them. Having considered the fact that we both went through the exact same 60-minute Iron Man match last week.
It's interesting that he's giving props to Finn when he looks like he's upset. So something's going to happen. You have Finn as a heel, but are you going to turn Finn face to keep Cole heel? It sounds like they're going to go after another round with each other. Robbie, speaking of the man with that little picture earlier today, SCO double G. That was awesome. He made a picture after I got my sunburn. I got a really bad sunburn. Made that freaking lobster because I kept saying I feel like a lobster. So he like sends he sends a picture of me with my face with a lobster standing up with two claws, and my boss at my shop said, "It's the Irish lobster." I'm like, "Oh great!" And now every time I go somewhere, he's like, "What's up, lobster?" I'm like, "Please stop." It's funny, the chat has like all blue except for Ron on there.
Oh yeah. And what's the blue and the following?
So what do you think's gonna happen at Night of Champions? Since I have you guys on now, I might as well ask what your opinions on that with what we know already.
I don't even know what to say anymore with Night of Champions. I mean, I know we're obviously going to see Drew and Randy in a job versus job match. I don't know what to expect out of that though.
Just both of them wired up, like
just going for it. Actually, my big question coming into Night of Champions is why are they doing the Mickey match at that pay-per-view? Why are they going to give it to us on Raw this coming Monday? What does it serve to have Asuka and Mickey have a title match next week and not in a few weeks? Are they just going to run it back? Are they going to move on from Mickey and maybe do Natalya versus Asuka for the title?
There's not really many choices though.
You can build Bianca in very little time.
Yeah, no.
Rush.
Yeah, I'd rather have Bianca at Survivor Series. Like, give her that big idea. But what are you going to do? I mean, you gave Shayna and Nia the tag titles, so that's kind of out of their mix right now. I mean, they could have Baszler have both titles, but I don't think that'll happen.
Yeah.
Well, we're getting closer to Survivor Series, and it's also looking like, the Brand Invitational's back, the quarterly Brand Invitational. And this is really an opportunity for them to remind people that that's what Survivor Series is. It's the one time of year when SmackDown, Raw, and NXT go head-to-head in direct competition. Thank you, Michael Cole. So I don't know if it's really going to matter who faces who at this pay-per-view because it's all just going to bleed into Survivor Series when all the brands have these weird three-ways and random matches.
It'd be awesome for Breezango to have the titles for NXT still, and you have Nakamura and Cesaro versus the Profits.
Oh my god!
Breezango comes out and like literally, one is dressed up like half Cesaro, half Nakamura. The other one's got the Street Profits thing, and they're both holding cups and saying, "We're up, we want the smoke," and then all of a sudden the cups are just smoking or some shit.
Oh my god! Yeah, that would be so good.
So I said,
The cups all have numbers on them.
so I want the chats thing because I want to go back to the whole Cross Braun thing. So does the chat agree with one of us that should be on main roster idea or that should be an NXT idea? Because that would be interesting to see what these guys say. I'm excited though for Alexa's podcast.
Yeah, I saw you tweeting about that. I think it's going to be a fun show that she's going to do.
It's going to be interesting considering her Talking Smack interview was just her sitting there the entire time. They're asking questions. She's like, "Thank you for me coming. I got to go. Bye."
Oh, yeah, that's right. She just kind of stared off in the distance. The thing is, I don't think that Alexa's podcast is going to be in WWE canon.
No,
Like, I think it's just going to be like Lexi Kaufman talking to people. And I'm like looking at the lineup of guests, it's like talking to her friends and her current boyfriend.
Oh, God.
And I really can't wait to see what that number is going to look like.
I'm just laughing just because of the fact that if you play the whole Kevin Bacon situation, you can connect Alexa Bliss to Jessica Simpson in literally like
awesome.
3 moves.
Amazing.
Well, a lot of people forget he dated Ashley Simpson.
Oh yeah.
So there's your connection there. And his Ryan Cabrera is actually his manager was actually their dad for a while, I think. Yeah.
Really? Oh yeah, there you go. I'm saying bowling for soup. We're gonna talk a lot about bowling for soup.
So
where's Kyle O'Reilly?
Yeah.
I wouldn't be surprised if they get a shot at the tag titles down the line. And I don't know how I made a pharmacist look bad. I'm sorry, Ron. Because I wouldn't want to make any pharmacist upset, considering with me having epilepsy meds. Whoops, sorry, you put a Percocet in your epilepsy meds. My bad.
Can we talk about the kicks that Bobby Fish are wearing? God damn, those are whites. I like it.
Goes to line up with that towel, yeah.
Oh yeah, that's right, Killing Dane match.
I think they're going to start building up Dane again.
It's about time.
Yeah. I mean, how many big men other than Reed do they have that they can actually do that?
Oh, please don't do that camera shot again. They do that weird zoom in, zoom out, chaotic thing.
Hey, Rob, so glad you're home. You going to watch the Twins game? Or are you watching any sports other than NXT tonight? I think they're going to give the win to Strawn, but I think Dane needs it more than anything.
Yeah.
I don't know. I think I could see Strong getting completely decimated in this match.
I see a future Twitter feud between Ron and Jeremy right now. He just said Jeremy's crying Milwaukee lost to the Heat. Oh, no. God. I'm just happy the Celtics are still in the playoffs.
Yeah.
If I didn't have a USA thing on, I'd probably wear a Celtics jersey. I have a Garnett jersey sitting in my closet right now. I'm itching to get another one, but I want to get Jaylen Brown one or just something different.
One of these days, it's going to start getting colder up here. I'll have to start wearing a hockey jersey once again. Put on my old school Ducks jersey.
This weekend, it's already like chill.
Rob,
it's true. I actually closed the windows the first time.
It's like abrupt.
We're all like dudes gonna try to make sure, be like, so Rob said he went on a date.
Go on.
Ivar got a date. I kept he's awesome, and Rob's always like, don't say it. But I always try making him laugh, saying he's like, if you put me and him on the show, and because obviously I'm with somebody, everybody be like, he's the cute one. You not so much. Pointing at me. It was like, dude, take it as a compliment. I have friends who are like, yeah, you put me and my buddy Mark next to each other. Yeah, he's adorable. You not so much. And they're pointing at me. I'm like, okay. But yeah.
Oh yeah, Tim's the pretty one in our operation.
But yeah, I might get a Tatum jersey. My sister wants to get everything started for Christmas around Halloween. I don't know why, but I have these two huge chill sack chairs, and they take up half of my living room. So we're gonna put them downstairs because I have a couch. I have one of those love sack couches where you rearrange it. So my girlfriend and my sister are gonna rearrange the whole house, and I'm just like, I ain't doing anything about this. I ain't gonna win. You know how it is. You're just gonna be like, yeah, no.
Yeah.
Really?
Oh, I love it. I had to do.
That's terrible.
Anyways, I'll have some fun in the chat sometime.
Yeah.
Is that guy really use that much ketchup on his burger? Would you eat a burger with that much ketchup?
No.
Would you use Korean wireless?
No.
I don't know.
No?
No.
That's good. Good to know.
Whenever I'm in the States, it's always T-Mobile.
And we have a new mod.
There's Plan B one step. Plan B helps prevent pregnancy before it starts.
Oh, God, is it me?
Oh boy, we have.
I've got this.
You gotta have his type and test it. Yeah. I know.
But now how will I differentiate from when the big hitters come around your screen?
Yeah, and the funny part I'd probably do is like make everybody mods and see it's a mod war. No, I want to kick him. No, I want to kick him. No, I want to kick him. You can't kick each other. You're all mods.
I just want to put them in timeout.
Be like a little kid. I think out of everybody I already decided to put in mod, I think the one person who was so happy about it is literally the one person who just put a message underneath you.
That's awesome. Yeah, man, that's what life's all about. Make other people happy. It's not about upsetting them. It's too much drama in the world. We don't need more of it. I see about it, talk about it, deal with it way too much every day. It's not worth continuing.
All right. So we already talked about Finn and stuff. I talked about Raw. So you guys watch football?
Oh, no, I'm going to ask you this one. Sorry, because I'm not done with wrestling yet. Who is in charge of Retribution?
I know some people wanted to be Adam Pearce, though. It's just a little fishy that they show up when he's there. Some people think it's Roman. I honestly think, what would be the interesting is that it would be Dijak. I mean, have the big guy show up. You don't see many big men be ahead of something. But if they're specifically Raw, it narrows down everything.
I'm wondering if it's going to hit this hard if you have a big guy like Dijak, who most of the fan base doesn't know, running that operation. But at the same time, on Raw, they were talking about, how they were a bunch of people who were released or misused and all this stuff. It's like all of the rhetoric points to our leader as someone who was released, but in reality, each member, potential member, is someone from NXT who never won a title.
Dijak.
You gotta play both sides. It's Dijak, but nobody knows Dijak outside of NXT.
I mean, the other theory I have is a long shot. They have all that Evolve talent they just signed.
I don't think enough people. I think the payoff would be so anticlimactic that people would just say, "Oh, that's it." I mean, at this point, we're looking like it's going to be that way anyway.
Yeah, I feel like they're going to bungle the payoff no matter what.
Well, no, if they bring in one of the fired talent, like if they bring Miro back or Rusev, and he runs the show, then that will make it all worth it.
Yeah, totally. Agreed. But I just feel in my bones that's not going to happen.
And if you want a Killian Dane, if you've seen the match memory, I tried not to keep a straight face with that stuff with Sean. I really did. And he's like, "Yeah, leave it to the professionals," and I'm like, we served it up properly, and I'm like, "Oh, come on, I have to. I don't want to."
It's to serve the line. You gotta save the line.
Yeah. So Ron said that he got blocked for super chat because he wanted to say a line that it's like super capital flat. Yeah. Supercalifragilisticexpialidocious kind of line.
WrestleTalk is an interesting place. They have a huge turnout though for their shows.
So, if you were in my position and they did move it to Tuesdays, what would you guys do?
With the show? I'd stay away from Thursdays at 8.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, you could do. Would you want to do a Tuesday like post show, but then you're dealing with the Fightful? Would you go an hour earlier and go an hour before NXT?
One of my friends suggested this. Is that why not just do the watch-alongs and then record a review right afterwards, like a mini review of all three of them, and then just post it later in the week.
Yeah, you could absolutely do that.
But I also know that with work, it's going to take too much time to do that stuff. So I'm like, but the way it seems like this is like, they said it's a trial run to see if this works with all these numbers for NXT. So I'm kind of hoping, like, please just stay away from Tuesdays.
I think it's kind of inevitable, to be honest.
Because the only other day that I could think of doing is just like a Friday. Well, if I have a Friday off and just do a Friday during the day kind of thing before SmackDown.
Yeah, that's not a bad idea. You could do Mondays before Raw.
Yeah.
Ron says, have your show on during Raw since Raw sucks.
Cover all 3 hours of Raw.
Does that mean Ron would be literally a backer on that?
Exactly.
Honestly, it's just, it's a dilemma to think about if they do that. I mean, tonight we're doing pretty good compared to when I was doing it last week, to be honest, just by myself. But I think it's more so that I like talking to people instead of looking the whole void of everything.
Yeah.
Right.
So, I mean, if I had it on Raw, I'd have somebody with me watching it at the same time, regardless. But with me going to the anchor side of it, that'll give me more flexibility to do certain things. Come on!
What if you did a Saturday? Oh! That's a whole lot of fists in the face.
Yeah, that wasn't a whole lot. Well, Drake coming out removes my hope that Drake Maverick is the leader of Retribution, and he's just wearing big lifts in his shoes. But, oh well.
That was actually his voice last night.
Yeah.
I was standing on an apple cart.
Oh well.
So yeah, the Retribution thing is we have a gimmick on our show where every week we just name a new leader of Retribution. And so far, I think we've named almost everyone on the roster. And
Drake Maverick.
now we have one more.
I'm right. We're going to get a beatdown in the Gargano home.
Of course. Ain't no party like a Gargano house party. Because a Gargano house party ends with renovations.
And that scared little pupper.
Oh, that poor bastard.
Yeah, and then next thing you know, a dude comes out and knocks Johnny out. Here we go, food fight.
So what, are they friends after this?
She broke the TV. They're going to come back into the ring. He's like, oh, man, my TV. I like the colors.
Look, I'm going to say this in the nicest way possible. Johnny looks real good in a white shirt.
I have a shirt like that. That shirt's too small. But yeah, he's doing good things with it.
He's looking great in that white shirt.
It's garbage now. Definitely a $6 shirt.
So.
Oh, man.
That TV has such dimples.
Clean up on aisle 6. Johnny needs a new shirt. You know what would have been a really good gimmick? The whole idea of Johnny just being like a sadistic son of a gun, and then the Shining Johnny comes out, like literally, like after he gets all this music, like the door opens like out of nowhere, like a random door, and be like, "Here's Johnny." I wish they did that with Take Over in Your House. Like he literally kicks the door down, and they give him a mic. It says, "Here's Johnny," and then walks out and just goes crazy.
I wouldn't be against seeing him do that. Just throw all the ridiculous gimmicks at Johnny. Turn him into Johnny Fairplay from Survivor. Give him Johnny Fairplay as a manager.
No, you know what would be good? Johnny Bravo. Oh, Premier Mama.
Give him the Johnny from Impact.
So, have you guys
not Johnny?
Off wrestling for a second? Have you guys done anything fun during the whole pandemic? I know you can't travel, Joel, so you can't tour and stuff. So,
for me, what have I been doing during the pandemic? I've been working a lot, so I do stuff at home mostly. I got a day gig, and I also any music stuff is recorded at home. Other than that, I mean, I went back to visit my parents, who are prepping for a move. They're going to downsize and sell their old house and all that stuff. That was probably the more interesting thing that I did. And actually, it is mine and my wife's first year anniversary tomorrow. So we'll probably do nothing and say we did something, because we both work too much. Tim, what have you been doing?
Started our podcast. That was fun. Was. No, I haven't been doing too much. Yeah, just a lot of work, and done a couple of like small things here and there for music, but nothing too exciting. So been kind of quiet.
I've been pretty busy off and on. I mean, other than doing the show and work and stuff, you know, like the last month and a half, me, my girlfriend and her kids, we did like this thing called the Scenic Railway. They turn around and take old railways, and you could actually put like pedal cars on it. So they take you go down there, go one end, and they turn you around and you go the other way to see the other end of the tracks. And then we did we did a Lazy 2 river ride down, or river called the Saco River. It goes all the way from Maine down to New Hampshire into western Massachusetts. And that we did part of that, and then we did kayaking over the weekend, and I got into an accident.
A kayak?
Yeah, when we did the Lazy 2 rafting, the whole lobster thing from the sunburn literally like felt like 40% of my body was sunburned. It looked like a wrestling singlet. It was bad.
Cool.
And
oh no.
So what happened was we ended up going up to a set of rocks, and I ended up misjudging the gap in between, and I looked like Spider-Man. My right leg went all the way down in between. So like I have my knees all cut up, bruised, and my shins all cut up and bruised.
Oh, no.
So it's healing right now. But I mean, that's pretty much the craziest things I've done so far. Now we're getting a fall up here in New England, and there's a lot more crazy stuff you can get into up here during the fall. The only sad thing is that the whole Halloween festival they do up in Salem, Mass, is not happening. So,
what would they normally do?
They throw a huge party. They close down the town and literally go crazy.
Do they burn a witch?
No, they don't. But they're literally, it's like one of the biggest nights of the year. For the MBTA, which is the Mass Transit Authority, what they'll do is that they'll have people, like they do for parades, for championships, they'll have them shipped up and down through the railways, up on that railway, extra cars and stuff. So, but I mean, what I want to do is apple picking. That's the one thing I want to do every year.
Totally.
There,
especially if you have kids, that's an awesome activity for kids too.
Yeah.
I mean, they already got pumpkins, people selling pumpkins already. So it's like we're in September and they're already putting them out. So the next thing you know, we got Christmas literally in 3 weeks for all these stores starting to decorate and get ready for that.
That's nuts. Thinking about people getting pumpkins already.
Yeah. Priest cutting a promo.
Yep. Is he wearing a Kurt Cobain shirt? Yes, he is. You can find it on ProWrestlingTees.com. No, you can't.
So we have Thatcher and Priest next week. Nice.
About time. Thatcher got his single win that he needed to get the match, which is, I have feelings.
You saw Halloween stuff in July. Oh my God. You know the Hallmark Channel has their Christmas in July, and the entire month was all Christmas movies and new ones. I'm like, what? Come on. It's like, do you really want me to have like an Irish festival in the middle of October?
For Canadians, one of the biggest things is, you know how Halloween, right after Halloween, you get to November 1st, and people immediately switch over to Christmas decorations. In Canada, we have a Remembrance Day, which is, I guess, similar to Veterans Day in the States, but for us, it's November 11th. And one thing that like drives Canadians crazy is that we want people to just hold off for those like 10 days in between, and like put up the Christmas stuff on like November 12th. Maybe put up some Canadian stuff for those 2 weeks in between. It's just I'll never understand it, but that's kind of what we have to deal with up here with all the branding around holidays.
Well, for me, more so is that my family works for in a hospital, so I have an aunt that works in the cath lab at local hospital. I have another uncle that works in the hospital. My cousin works there. My other aunt is an EMT and paramedic, and then my uncle is a retired firefighter. But in general, they're working a lot. So we usually try to do it either after the holiday or before the holiday. So like Christmas would be like right before New Year's or after New Year's, or before, or a week before, or Thanksgiving would be, you know, that Sunday after Thanksgiving. So it's like a little bit mix of everything, a little heart of everything. Oh, here we go. Steel care with chairs and stuff. We're going to get war games just for in this.
Yeah.
Seriously. Yeah, this is fixing to be a good match.
Can we get a kendo set? Oh, we're getting tables. Speaking of Thanksgiving dinners.
Ours is coming up. Yes, we get it first. Give me matches.
But other than that, I mean, some of the other stuff is like, this is going to be like last Christmas, because everything with my mom, we didn't celebrate Christmas that much. We did with, you know, family, friends, and like my girlfriend's family and stuff. And there's a huge, there's a huge thing they did. I bought a memorial jersey for my mom, and I had my last name. It has the World Series patch for the Red Sox on it. My mom was a huge Red Sox fan, you know. Nice. So what happened was what I did was I got the jersey. I wore it at Fenway Park one time, and then I just left it alone. I didn't wear it. My sister, being my sister, snuck it out of my house, which was at my mom's house at the time because we weren't living in the condo we have right now, and literally gave it to my girlfriend, and she framed it and put 2 pictures of me and my mom in that framed jersey. So it's sitting in the corner. So I'm hoping to get that up before the holidays go up. So it'll be something people walk into the living room and they'll see that right off the bat.
Yeah, it's really nice.
That's awesome. I like that.
So this Christmas, I'm thinking about doing something like handmade or something like that. They have to give this match to Rhea.
That's a hope.
Yeah.
I mean, I could see it. I could see Mercedes getting a win here too. To get her a little closer to Io.
Yeah. Well, I mean, that image.
Yeah, it's one of the best.
That image last week has 1,000 words right there.
Yeah.
You know, it'd be pretty cool. Has they ever done like a women's War Games?
Yeah, that was where Dakota Kai turned on them.
Exactly, yeah.
But I mean, like for a title though.
No, but how can you do a War Games for a title?
You probably
because he's doing 5-on-5, right?
Yeah, but the thing is that you would make it 5-on-5, but whoever pins the champion, or whoever pins, like it'd be an elimination style kind of thing. So like the champion would be there. Let's say Undisputed Era had the title belts, kind of thing, and then Fish gets kicked out, another person in the other faction gets out, and it leaves it to be 1-on-1 with that whole thing, monstrosity. And you could do so much with that. It'd be like a little kid in a candy store or a bouncy house.
In a bouncy house, right?
Steel cage
yeah,
and devil's playground. Jeez. Well, they got enough time to do this match. I mean, literally with commercials, you got literally 15 minutes.
Yeah.
Yeah. They'll either go to limit or they'll end the match in something. We'll have a cliffhanger for next week.
I wouldn't be surprised if Shotzi comes out and hits Stone again.
Oh, yeah.
So you think Aaliyah's doing a lot better than she was? Because it seems like they had her like working really well, and then all of a sudden they just, ever since they got Martinez on the Stone thing, it's just no more Aaliyah in matches. Yeah. It's just her being there.
I think this is the perfect spot for Aaliyah right now. She's proving that she can actually be more than just a face in matches. She's actually getting the opportunity to like grow and become a better character. And having Robert Stone talk for her, perfect. That's what they need. Just slap her across the back of the head.
Why can't we get these matches on Raw? Maybe because Hunter is the one that run it with Sean.
Yeah, exactly.
When Vince is running the show, you get the same matches every single week.
You get 50-50 to death.
Damn it. Yeah.
That's right. Looking forward to next week's match with Keith Lee and Randy Orton with special guest referee Drew McIntyre.
Oh my God. Is that real?
Not yet.
Okay.
He's taking the piss, but I wouldn't be surprised.
I literally have like that rubber mallet in my head with that cartoon banging its head, and it's just squishing its head every time. Just like bang, 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 bang. It's like, come on. We've seen the same thing over and over again. I'll be honest, I didn't watch Raw. I watched some of the highlights though. But the thing, because with work and Monday I was exhausted. So
you don't need an excuse for that.
I mean, I work 50 hours a week.
I was playing COD at the same time it was on, so.
So I mean, like you let the night before let Lee win clean, and you're just diminishing the win just because you're having him on again. What I think is going to end up happening though, they're going to move Lee when the draft hits. They're going to move Lee all the way to SmackDown because Lee's a purified, bona fide face, like a strong ass face, and they're very lacking on faces. They have all heels.
It's a face deficit. Yeah.
Like who on that roster that's heels you're going to turn? I mean, you have too many good heels on that roster. You need more faces, and Raw is too many faces and not enough heels.
Yeah.
So there's a discrepancy there.
I'm pretty sure that, not counting War Games, there have been more cage matches in NXT featuring women than there have been with men. I'm pretty sure, and I'm trying to do the research for that.
Ron says he wants Lee and E. You know who I want that match too? But I want Lee and Apollo. I've been saying that for a long time. Good. Yeah. And everybody's like, that's not going to happen. Lee's in NXT. Apollo's not doing anything. And I posed that question in the Fightful chat one time, and I'm like, you put Apollo down in NXT, have him go at it for a title, or join him and break him up later on. I mean, two freaking hardworking dudes going all out crazy, why not? Just imagine how insane that would be.
Yeah, a couple of big guys. They're both really quick. Like, it'd be exciting.
I mean,
Totally.
And then you could move Lee over to SmackDown, and there you go. You get the match everybody wants, the rematch of Survivor Series. There's your Rumble match.
Yep.
I'm pretty sure I just confused the hell out of the NXT Bible person on Twitter.
Oh, yeah.
I asked that question, and the first reply is that I'm saying Io versus Shayna. It's like, yes, it is. Are you about to list all of the matches with women in the cage?
Just individually, one after the other.
I mean, you know what? Respect that they do that, because I could use that information. Basically doing it for me at this point.
No, we were...
Well, when you hold yourself out there as the Bible.
Yeah.
So now talking about, steel cage matches, I quit matches and stuff. What do you think's the next big gimmick matches that's going to happen next? We already have the Fight Pit. We have the Boneyard, which that's not going to be repeated. The Firefly Funhouse match, that's not going to be repeated. The Swamp match, that's not going to be repeated. The Tooth versus Nail, the Eye for an Eye. What do you think is the next major thing?
King of the Mountain.
I did watch it.
Look at her head. Ooh. Is right in between the right in between the steel.
Oof.
I think that they're gonna do something along the lines of not War Games. I think they might bring something where the Elimination Chamber meets the War Games, if that makes any sense.
Yeah, I think that would be
instead of getting rid of the cages on the outside for each individual, just giving people their own certain pods, but make it like the size of a War Games ring. Or better yet, this is an old throwback, and I know I'm going to say this, and everybody will laugh at me. The triple tier cage. Because they used to do that at WCW a lot. So why not bring it back?
They've got an empty Amway Center. It's Amway, right? Yeah, empty Amway Center right now. They could do a lot if they put their minds to it.
Hell, they could bring Buried Alive back. Have the Fiend there and bury people.
Yeah.
Since he's being buried, some people think.
I don't know if Buried Alive would work again, would it?
It could. I mean, Foley did say that you had oxygen tanks in those things.
Well, no, I mean just like the story and the believability of it. Has it been done too many times? Would it still work on today's audience?
It probably would, because of the nostalgia factor, because everybody's still going back to it. Yeah. I think you could probably do it with, like, obviously you're not going to do it with Roman. So I think you could do something like, they bring back Seth and Braun and Bray's like, you tried to hurt the Fiend. The Fiend doesn't forget. And then bury Seth, and there goes the Messiah character, buried and dead.
Yeah. And he's about to take some time off too.
Yeah,
right. Because his kid's gonna be born. Yeah, that'd be cool.
And then when he gets back, they take a picture of the plot, and then there's, Seth's hand up in the air, like kind of what they did with AJ Styles with the fake hand, but have him like literally crawl out of the grave and saying, "I've risen," and then there's a new Seth.
Just right in time for Easter next year.
Pretty much.
That's what I need.
I mean,
so it looks like it might be tied in terms of women's versus men's cage matches in NXT. Balor Joe, Black Organo, Dream and Strong, and then on the women's side, Baszler, Shirai, and Nox, Martinez, and Ripley happening right now. So 3-3.
Do you ever think they might bring the Hell in the Cell into NXT?
I don't think so. I think War Games is going to be their match, and then Hell in a Cell is going to remain a WWE match.
Yeah.
similar with like fight in the elimination chamber. Just speaking of like who's gonna keep one in the divorce.
Everybody's like, she's gonna snap her leg.
Now here comes Robert.
Dangling Stone.
Oh, look at those shoes, man. The wrong shoes.
He's screwing him right up. I'm up against the cage.
Yeah, pretty much.
Off.
And then Stone gets up and starts diving, and he misses. So, who do you think's the next big name to get to WWE? I mean, you've got some contracts expiring. Obviously, they're not going to release the free agents that they put out there.
I'll go back to MLW for a second. The two guys that I would say would be Jacob Fatu, who is their champion and is the Samoan big badass. Or Alex Hammerstone, completely overhauled his look and is like just a big bodyweight type of guy. And they're both good looking and monstrous. So they check the boxes.
I think if they do Jake Fatu, then there you go. Then you have a faction right there with Roman and the Usos. That match, by the way, with Roman and one of the Uso boys is going to be really good, really physical. You know, you got a good story in there, and then, you know, is it Jimmy or Jay that's doing it?
Jay is another champion.
So I wouldn't be surprised if Jimmy comes out of nowhere and starts beating the crap out of Roman too after the match.
Yeah, if he's back. That would to kind of set him up. Oof.
I'm having flashbacks of Stacy Keibler going through a table.
I'm thinking of Dixie Carter going through tables.
Well, you also got to remember, Bubba did the same thing on a table.
Yeah.
With a lot of people in the 90s.
Just about everybody. Mae Young, Trish, Stacey,
Lita,
Tori with the knife, Terry. Probably you name it and it's happened. Ivory.
So I think the next person after Io that should have the title, it should be Tegan, in my opinion, but obviously they're going to go back with Rhea.
I wouldn't mind seeing it Dakota Kai.
I think more so that it's going to be, as long as Raquel is with Dakota, that they're going to probably have them go after the tag titles, because they're the only people in NXT that haven't gone after those tag titles. So with a team being that strong, you know.
Pump handle.
Kind of.
That was a really good match.
There you go.
Okay. Yeah.
Robert Stone on the replay just dangling.
It's pretty great.
The Riptide.
Riptide was the name of the. Couldn't remember the move for a second. Hence the pump handle.
I really think that they have a story with Rhea and Charlotte when Charlotte gets back, because they could do a rematch, not for a title, but just say she's upset that she didn't get her shot.
Yeah, I would definitely like to see that.
Same.
And there's Rhea laughing at the top of the cage, just smiling.
That's probably going to take them off the gear.
It is.
That's more than I. Yeah.
All right, gents, we just went through a whole show. So what was your whole opinion of tonight's NXT?
I mean, it was a great show. I'm looking forward to watching the show back with commentary in my ears next. because that was like there was a lot going on. There's a lot of storytelling. I think I may have missed. That's what I'm going to look forward to most. But good show.
Yeah, I liked it. It was solid, like start to finish again, which is good to see. Like I felt like I built up last week too much in my mind, but the week before that was incredible. So it's pretty tight. Again, I think NXT is just a great. It's my favorite WWE program.
It really is for me. I think it's the A show. I get grief for it all the time, even with friends and stuff. I mean, if you have to look between all three brands, I've already stated this. NXT, even though it's starting to get a little bit of main roster a little bit, it actually is still the A show because of the content, the quality in it. You're not regurgitating 50-50 and all that stuff compared to Smackdown. Yeah. And then it's literally a toss-up between Raw and Smackdown for the most part.
Yeah, and they're like I hear people complain about the PG rating all the time. And I don't know, NXT is doing it successfully in my opinion. Like it's really solid. Whereas SmackDown has to do their PG-13 now and again, I guess.
I mean, what they could do is that if they, I'm being selfish in this, but they could always move, NXT to Sundays. Like they used to do Sunday Night Heat. But they would run against the NFL, which I know Vince never wants to go against.
Never wants to do that.
Yeah.
So, I mean, the other day they could do is Saturdays, but they do their NXT takeovers on Saturdays, but that would actually work out. Do it like the old main events kind of stance. So, totally.
Oh, God, I didn't think about this. Sorry. Of course, Rhea Ripley win tonight. Because where's Mercedes going to go? She's going to go put a hood on and terrorize people on Raw.
Yeah. I guess. It seems so weird. Like the way it's all done so weird.
Yeah, I can't wait. Football's going to be starting, and we're going to end up having people choose between the Raw review and the last minute of a quarter of NFL football.
Why not both?
Yeah.
Oh yeah. Two screens.
All right, guys. So we're past the top of the hour. So tell them where they can find you.
Tim, please take them home.
Where can you find us? You can find us at Tim and Joel. Call it in the ring. You'll have to use YouTube search function to get to us because we still need you to smash that subscribe button because we need at least 100 before we can change it. And then it'll be much easier to find us. But for now, type in Tim and Joel, call it in the ring, and YouTube search bar, you can find us there. You can find me on Twitter at Tim Stone P. You can find Joel on Twitter at Joel Pearl. And you can find us both together on Twitter at Tim and Joel Pod, and everywhere else at Tim and Joel Pod.
And that's all I got. You can find us on anchor.fm/Tim-Joel.
Oh yeah, we're also a podcast. So.
Yes. If you don't see us live,
well,
you can hear scary voices.
Like I say every day. Go check these guys out. They're always on Thursdays at 8 o'clock. They're the pre-show before Mr. Warren Hayes at 9 on Thursdays.
And with the post-show distraction.
Yeah, well, you got 3 great shows lined up for a good about few hours. Go to Fightful.com. I'm excited for Fightful Gaming, to be honest. I can't wait.
Yeah, it's gonna be a lot of fun. I'm excited to see what kind of content they put on that.
Yeah. And other than that, I mean, check out the Fightful. I mean, Mondays they do. I don't know the schedule most part. I only know 2 days right now because everything's all screwy with all these different shows and stuff. But just check out all this stuff. I know last night he had Denise on. It was fun seeing them like usual. They're with Wild Boy saying he was going to defend his title. I was like, yep, there's a all-out championship blowout right there. And then he's got Jeremy on Fridays. I mean, he's the hardest working guy. Sean Sapp, I'm just enthralled for him. That show he did on Monday was really good, by the way. The podcast he did for Inside the Ropes was really good.
Oh. I need to go back and I haven't had a chance yet. But yes, I'm sure it's amazing. I'm going to go back to that.
Other than that, you guys check out in the description below. You have everybody's Twitter handle there. At least be kind. Check out Match Memories. I've got a few coming up. These guys are going to be setting up some for October. You never know. Halloween Havoc might be mixed in between somehow.
Good call.
Where can I listen to that? Check my Twitter, Ron. It's actually there. I've tweeted the link out for that, for the Monday Night Live thing that Sean did. Other than that, I mean, check all this stuff out. We're always here. We help each other and we grow.
That's right. Thank you for having us tonight, man. This was fun.
Yeah, thanks so much.
No problem. Without the technical small Joel, big Joel things.
It's been the story of my life. Big Joel, little Joel. No Joel.
There's too many jokes there. Too many. But, I mean, like I said, be kind. Do a good deed. Pay it forward. If you need to hit me up, Throwback978 on Twitter. Show is always every Tuesday. And then I'll figure out the Anchor FM stuff when I'm going to start dropping that stuff. Also, just going to put this out. I am going to be doing a review, prediction show. Not going to say whose, but that will be soon for Night of Champions. There'll be more information on that. And then I have a special guest that very few people know who are going to be there, who's going to be. And they'll be announced probably in about a week or so, hopefully, if I get that permission. I think I've already spilled it, but still, I don't really care. But at the end of the day, just be kind, be safe, pay it forward, and do a good deed. I mean, in this world we live in, we just got to help each other out and get better. So help these guys get to 100, and I'm actually getting closer to 200, so let's keep pushing. Also, I think I'm 9 followers away from 800 followers on Twitter. So need to get that up there too. Other than that, have a good night, guys. We're out of here.